Let's get started. The Central Regional Branch of the New Patriotic Party has taken a swipe at the Central Regional Chairman of the governing National Democratic Congress, Bernard Alote Jacobs, over comments that the party's opponents are behind the Sunday dawn attack at the NDC's premises in Cape Coast. They have consequently condemned the action and called on the Central Regional Police Command and the National Security to, as a matter of urgency, investigate the development within the NDC and apprehend the perpetrators behind the act. Speaking to the media in Cape Coast this afternoon, the Central Regional Secretary of the NPP, Kwame Duncan, maintained that it will only take insiders who know the truth, the true location about the chairman and the election director's office to succeed what the robbers did.
If we came to their political opponents, the NPP Central Region condemns this NDC armed banditry in the NDC in no uncertain terms and calls on all well-meaning Ghanaians also to condemn this dastardly act by the NDC on, as a matter of urgency, investigate this dangerous development within the NDC, not only to apprehend the perpetrators behind the heinous act, but nip it in the bud before it blossoms into a full party nature and character.
The Northern Regional Executive Committee of the NDC has issued a strong warning to its parliamentary aspirants that it will not hesitate to apply the laws of the party to banish any candidate who goes independent after failing to go through the party vetting process. The party regional chairman, Chief Awudu Sofo Azoka, leading the executive committee to address all its 120 aspirants ahead of the vetting, said the NDC is working to recapture all 10 seats that it lost to the NPP in the region, and it will not allow any member to sabotage that ambition.
The first minister to go to primaries and laws and give the property he has, he gives to the constituency. The little one he left, he brings to the regionals. May God help you. Go and speak. Don't go to radio station and making noise. I'm contesting in that time. So somebody go to radio station and tell us whom the Zabasreni. You know the listing Gonja no vote as Oka, but I'm a pure Gonja. I'm titled to Yogura. But somebody go and he says, okay, I go home the Zabasreni. I'm not going to the
Let's go to the Northern region and speak to our reporter Hashmin Mohammed for the latest in that region. Hashmin, good afternoon to you. What can you report?
Hello?
Yes, Hashmin. What's the latest from the vetting process from the region?
Well, the vetting for Northern region has been rescheduled to Saturday and then Sunday, according to the regional secretary of the party, Hali Rauf. This is to give ample time for all the aspirants to have time to celebrate the Salah, which is set for Thursday.
When did this information come?
This information just got to us this morning.
So
they took this decision in consultation with the National Executive Council of the NDC.
But Hashmi, tell us, how many people are up for vetting or were up for vetting?
About 120 aspirants have filed nomination to contest in Northern region, and in this figure also include about 7 district chief executives, and this explains why the contest in the Northern region is going to be very keen. Now, the Regional Executive Committee of the NDC for Northern region, they have outlined some modalities, some criteria. They are demanding that all aspirants who will appear for the Saturday vetting, they should come with their original certificates that they have earned, that they wouldn't take any photocopy certificate. They want to ensure that any document that any aspirant tables before them is valid.
Hashmin, did the aspirants know ahead of time, or this news was sprung on them?
Well, yesterday, the regional executives met with all the aspirants, and then at that venue, after the meeting, they were told of all the documents that they need to present. Now, the meeting as at yesterday was to rally all the executives to come out with a conclusion that none of them will go independent in the unlikely event that they have been disqualified from the vetting process or they fail to make their way to the primaries of the party. The party says they have an agenda to recapture all the 10 seats that they lost in northern region, and that agenda can only be achieved if all its members remain united. Making reference to 2008, where some of their members went independent and then spoke their votes in terms of parliamentary elections, and then they lost about 10 seats, the New Patriotic Party.
Okay, we'll leave it here. Thank you very much, Hashmid Mohammed. He joined us on the telephone. We have Fred Smith right now also on the telephone about the NDC vetting, and he's been monitoring across the country. Fred, what can you report?
Well, I can tell you that the vetting that was planned for today are taking place in some areas. In the northern region, they've called it off, as Hashmid mentioned, but in the upper east region, Esedun Ketia is leading that vetting. In the upper west region and Bonohaf region, Hudiaya is leading that as well. Ofosampo will head for the central region and western region vettings, which is underway now, and Kofi Adams will be the head for the eastern and Ashanti regions vetting. The Ashanti region vetting, we are told, cannot come off today. They've planned to hold it on the 29th of September. The party did not give any reasons for the postponement. All members of these various committees that I've mentioned will regroup after the vetting in the respective areas, and then be divided into two to take care of Greater Accra and the Volta region. So as we speak, that plan can also change because Northern region is not taking place and Ashanti will also be delayed.
Okay, we'll see how event turns. But Fred, quickly, just before you go, tell us some of those who are on the committee.
Well, the committees, we only have names of those who are heading these committees, and for the Upper East and Northern regions, we have Judge Messier Dunketia is the General Secretary. We have Alhaji Hudiyaya heading the Upper West and the Bono Ahafo Committee. Then Ofosuan Pofo, he is heading the Central and Western Region Committee, as well as Kofi Adams is heading the Eastern and Ashanti regions.
All right, thank you very much, Fred Smith. And we're staying with politics because political parties in the country are expected to present their proposals for a new voters register to the Electoral Commission today. The Electoral Commission at an IPAC meeting months ago tasked the political parties to make their proposals for the compilation of a new register known by today, 22nd September. So far, only the Progressive People's Party has done so. I earlier spoke with the PNC's Bernard Mona, who says his party will submit the proposal at 2 p.m. today, though they don't believe a new voters register is an answer to electoral woes.
It will be submitted at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It had to be finalized yesterday between myself, the national chairman, and our MP, who have all gone through the proposal, and then we have just finished the final work on it to represent our party position. The initial draft was amended because the chairman thought that we needed to input some other considerations. And I can tell you that as I talk to you, it is ready to go. And at 2 o'clock, we will just walk into the Electoral Commission to submit.
So, Bernard, kindly share with us key points in your proposal to the EC.
Well, largely, we have come to reckon that there are two schools of thought: to have a new register or to cleanse the current register. Those who are making claims or who are in favor of a new register are claiming that the current register is bloated, that it is infiltrated, and that it is incurably flawed, and that there are foreigners or non-Ghanaians in the register. and therefore they think that we should start from a clean. Those who are making the counter proposal also hold that yes, the register is not perfect as in any or every part in this world, but that the records have not supported that a new register. Well, our proposal is that a new register is not a cure to the current difficulties, and that we should find a way of cleaning the register. We have made proposals on how to clean the register.
Let's now speak to Principal Public Relations Officer at the EC, Madame Sylvia Ano. Good afternoon to you and thank you for joining us. Have you received the proposals from the political parties?
Thank you very much. We are waiting for the day to end, and then we know exactly how many have brought their proposal to the Electoral Commission.
But we understand that the NDC submitted theirs last week.
We've decided to wait for the day to end, and then we can give you a comprehensive report on who has submitted their proposal to the Commission.
Very well. Kindly take us through what's going to happen thereafter the submissions.
After the last IPAC meeting, the Electoral Commission had an interaction with the media, and the chair of the Electoral Commission, Judicial, indicated that there will be a forum after the receipt of the proposal. And the Electoral Commission would look at the technical soundness of the proposals that have been submitted, and thereafter take a decision on it.
Now, we know beyond the political parties, or aside the political parties, we know some other organizations, civil societies, etc., have also come to the EC asking for instance, a new voters register. What are you going to do with their concerns?
The chair of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Charles, indicated during the interaction, and even at IPAC, that the door is open to all political parties who have issues with the current voters register, and as well as civil society organizations. So our door is still open till after the close of day today.
Madam Ano, does the EC believe or think that the voters register has got many flaws?
That would be, let's wait for the Commission to receive all the proposals. We'll take it up from there.
But shouldn't you know, even before the proposals, what's wrong with it?
For various reasons. You know, we have indicated time and time again that there are processes that we have to go through as a nation, as far as the law is concerned, to make sure that the register is clean. You know, after registration, we have exhibition of the voters register, where the voters register is the register is made available to the general public, particularly the electorate, to make objections and so on and so forth.
So
that is a window, but this is a different thing altogether. So let's wait for the Commission to receive all the proposals, and then we'll take it up from there.
So while the Commission waits to receive the proposals, I guess many would like to know, will there be a new voters register or not?
Come again?
As the Commission, as the EC waits for these proposals by close of day today, but we want to know, is there going to be a new voters register?
Let me say that that is the reason for the submission of the proposal. A decision will be taken after the Commission. The Commission will go through all the proposals, you know, and after that there will be a forum, and the Commission will look at the technical soundness of each of the proposals that will be submitted to it, and then after various deliberations, it will come out with the final decision. So it is premature for me at this point in time to say anything regarding whether there will be a new voters register or not.
That's fair enough. But beyond collecting or receiving these proposals and also petitions and concerns from civil societies, are you also going to seek other institutions' opinions about this?
Oh yes, the net was thrown. You know, it's all encompassing, so that all stakeholders. Let me say it that way. All stakeholders have been given the opportunity to make input. And that is fair as far as democracy is concerned.
Okay, we know the conversation will end here, but thank you so much for your time on Joy News today. That's Madame Sylvia Nor. She's a principal public relations manager at the Electoral Commission. But earlier on Joy News desk, we spoke to the NDC's Deputy Communications Director, Fred Avonyo. Let's listen to him.
The proposal I'm telling you that while we are saying that we want to maintain the safety visa, but we have to take steps to change the register. For instance, the minors that on the development of the register, we understand that government can issue verification, but it's not going for the register twice. So that makes it possible. They are saying that we need to take the register for persons to come and teach. Otherwise, the people who are in the register are not supposed to be there, they are foreigners or they are not foreigners, and we get to this.
Okay.
And then also the same party agents, when we say the party agents, they can identify their party agents. So this is taken care of on the basis of the election.
Okay, so has the NDC submitted their proposals already?
They submitted our proposal last week.
So that's Deputy Communications Director of the NDC, Fred Agbenyo, speaking earlier on Joy News Desk. But this is Joy News today with me, Francisca Kakra-Force. Let's take a break. We'll bring you more stories after. Hello again, I'm Francisca Kakra-Force and this is Joy News Today. Now, the application for an injunction against the public viewing of the investigative video about corruption in the judiciary has been withdrawn. We know lawyers for Justice Paul Derry, one of the 12 indicted High Court judges, tried to stop the public broadcast of the video through the court. And our man, Afre Kwache Nyama, is at the court and we are trying to work the telephone lines to reach him and get the latest from him. Okay, I'm told that we have Afre Kwache Nyama on the line. Afre, so what's the latest? What can you tell us about the withdrawal of this injunction application?
Well, lawyers for Justice Derry say for purely strategic reasons. As you may know, the Chief Justice and the AD Department were jointly sued as well as Tiger. What Nisa Kwado, the lawyer for Justice Derry, did first was to withdraw the case against the CJ and the state. No was assigned for this action in court, and the court then asked if wanted to maintain the case against Tiger IPI regarding the public viewing of the public premiering of the investigative piece today. The court gave them two options: either to withdraw or to move their motion. And at this point, lawyers for Justice Derry requested a 10-minute break. The court granted that. After the court resumed, this was shocking to many in court. His lawyers, Justice Derry's lawyers, say that they have decided to withdraw the case against Tiger IPI again concerning the public premiering of the case. And in fact, earlier there was a debate between the lawyers, the representatives for the Attorney General Department and Justice Derry's lawyers as to whether the court should make a pronouncement on this today or not. And in the view of the presiding judge, Gertrude Tokono, in view of the fact that it's scheduled to be premiered today, if the court decides not to make a ruling on it, quote unquote, the High Court will become a laughing stock, because this is, of course, a matter of public interest. And again, the integrity of the court will be brought into question. That's the more reason why the court decided to rule on it, despite the fact that Anas Anas and his company, Tiger IPI, have not been officially served with the notice.
Okay, Afre, now you also mentioned Justice Derry's case against the CJ. We'll talk about that in a bit. But what does this mean? Does this mean Tiger and the conference center can go ahead and show the investigative video?
Well, the court says that this one point that the judge made time and again, that she, and as I mentioned earlier, she wanted to make a pronouncement on the case today so that nothing would either block or withhold the Tiger IPI from going ahead with it. And even though the lawyers for Justice Derry have withdrawn the case, they tell me that they have served a fresh injunction on the International Conference Center this morning. And according to them, while the matter is in court, they do not expect Tiger IPI to go ahead with the premiering, even though they've withdrawn the case against them once again. This is a venue that's supposed to host the entire event, and holding it whilst the case is in court will amount to contempt. But the court did not make any specific pronouncement on that particular matter because it did not come up at all in court today. It's expected to be heard on October 13th.
Now, let's talk about the case against the CJ, the Chief Justice. What more can you tell us on that?
Well, the lawyers for the state, the AG department, and this has to do specifically with the 14 High Court judges who have filed a suit seeking to prevent the committee set up to probe the lower court judges who are being implicated in this entire matter. The AG department has filed a suit challenging this injunction. The court has set Friday, 25th September, to rule on that matter. Interestingly, this is the same day that the committee has set to hold their next sitting. The court says that it will still go ahead with that despite some difficulty on the side of the AG with the fact that it clashes with the next sitting of the committee. So that matter will be heard. And of course, it's unlikely the committee will be able to sit on the matter on that day because they made it clear that they wanted the court to make a pronouncement before they hold their sittings on Friday.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's Afre Kwache Nyama giving us the details of those two cases. From what we're hearing from the court, it looks like there's no impediment. Tiger Eye and Anas can show the video, but there's another application for injunction that Justice Derry has filed, we understand, after withdrawing the first one. And so this still could mean to show or not to show. I'm getting confused with all the legalities. But well, my producer is shouting in my ears that it's show, so let's go with that. It's show. But the premiere would happen later today at the Accra International Conference Center today, Tuesday 22nd and Wednesday 23rd. That's the information we are getting from Anas, at least on his Facebook page. We know he's been very active since the expose, the scandal broke. Today on his wall is a picture of a ticket for the show today, and also pictures of a man believed to be Anas at the conference center last night. He also wrote this, and I read to you, hashtag stop judicial corruption. I was at the Accra International Conference Center last night. Everything is set for the premiere today. Few hours more. How prepared are you? International Conference Center, the venue for the premiering of the much touted latest expose by investigative journalist Anas Anas on corruption in the judiciary. Hundreds of people are expected to throng this venue to watch the investigative piece. But already there's been a debate about whether to show or not to show the video, because some judges implicated in the tape have already gone to court to place an injunction on the premiering. But how desperate are you to watch this investigative piece? I'm desperate. I want to watch it because people are there that they are doing what there are certain things they are doing. It's not fair. And then the previous expose that he didn't ask for people's opinion, but he did it. And then I don't know the judge's owns. He's asking people's opinion before he could show it.
If I had the opportunity to watch it, I would have liked it. Yeah, because I'm very much interested in it. Why are you interested in it? I'm interested because it is a filthy thing, and people must be brought to go. They must be brought to book. So you think they have to show it? Go ahead and to show it. Ghanaians deserve it because it is our tax that is being used to pay them. So we have to. They have to show it. We need it. In fact, I'm desperate. I'm desperate. That I wish I would have wished I were there to view it.
I can't wait to see the video on the expose of Anas because he has exposed a whole lot of people, the customs and other people, the DVLA, and they were all shown on TV. So I strongly believe this one too must be shown on TV so that it will be served as a deterrent for others in the court of law.
If it happens that they show it on television and everyone is watching, we all watch, but if not, I'm okay with it. I just need confirmation of what Anas came out to say, whether it's true or not. So if they show it today, it will be Interesting.
I said I want to wear the mask of Anas because he's proud Ghanaian. And any proud Ghanaian want to always do good things for his motherland.
I would love to go and watch it. Because this exposure is too big for the country, because for an institution like the Judiciary Department to be doing this, no. I don't think it's good for the country. It's not going to help us, because instant justice is not going to be served.
If I had the tickets, I would have, but I learned it's by invite, strictly by invitation, so I have no...
You're not desperate to watch?
Oh, probably it might come out in some time to come, so we just hope for the best.
I would really like to be going, but then I haven't gotten a ticket myself, so I think during the day I'll try to see if I can get some and I'll go.
I'm desperate to watch. I'm going to the school and I will be watching it. As far as I know where it can be located, I'll go.
So that's what you're saying, but this is Joy News. Today I'm Francisca Kakwafos, and I know I'm anxious to watch, but stay with us. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back. Let's do business now. As early as 6 Tuesday morning, customers of DKM Diamond Microfinance Company Limited had already converged at the forecourt of their 2 offices in Wa, waiting for the official reopening of the microfinance company. Majority of the people who converged at the forecourt are farmers and students. They welcomed Bank of Ghana's decision to lift the moratorium placed on the DKM Diamond Microfinance Company. After 4 months, they said their lives were affected by the closure of the microfinance company, while others were unhappy about the mode of repayment. Currency analyst Derek Mensah is confident inflows from the cocoa loan syndication would help stabilize the Ghana cedi. His prediction is coming on the back of an initial agreement on Monday between Cocoa Board and some banks in Paris for the release of $1.8 billion to buy the cash crop from farmers. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Kofi Wampa, had earlier projected that such inflows would shore up the central bank's reserves and indirectly lead to the cedi's stability. Although some economists have cast doubts about the governor's projections, saying the funds will be used immediately to buy cocoa, financial analyst Derek Mensah believes Dr. Wampa's projections are not far-fetched. Now, Joy FM's flagship program, the Super Morning Show, has been adjudged the best radio program of the year 2014 at the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana CIMG Awards. Host of the show, Kojo Yankson, who has been hosting the show for just a year, told the Joy News he is extremely excited about the achievement. Now, Ghana has been scored high marks in the United Nations assessment of the country's efforts at meeting the Millennium Development Goals. The MDGs will expire this month after 15 years of implementation. It will be replaced by the Sustainable Development Goals. A final evaluation report co-authored with the National Development Planning Commission says Ghana largely achieved 4 of the 8 goals. The country, however, failed to achieve 2 goals. Christine Evans-Clockers is UN Residence Coordinator.
Well, Jiva, I think things have gotten better. That's not to say anybody is satisfied, but we do need to recognize that things are better. You know, 800 million people are still living in extreme poverty, but it was almost 2 billion just 15 years ago.
So this is 800 million across the globe?
Across the globe, not just Africa, absolutely right. So I think that we need to build on that. I think that...
Do we know how many people live in extreme poverty in Africa? I don't have those figures.
I think those figures will be announced, and I think the figure for Ghana will also be announced in the 2015 report. I think that what's different is that it renews effort to the unfinished business, but it recognizes that everybody has a stake in development. So these goals that are about access to justice and human rights, that are about protecting the climate so that we're protecting the future for our children, I think employment at all levels of education, as you mentioned, I think this broadens the sense of ownership that yes, we're renewing our efforts to those who are in vulnerable situations, who are living in extreme poverty, but we're doing it in a way that's going to lift up all of society here and in the rest of the world.
Thank you.
Joy News also spoke to Ken Owusu, who is technical advisor at the National Development Planning Commission.
As you rightly indicated, this is the terminal year of the MDGs, and we in Ghana here have done some assessment in terms of how well we fared as a country towards the MDGs. Ghana, the MDG, the total number of targets we had, globally they were monitoring 21 targets. Ghana customized about 17 of them because not all of them was relevant to us. For instance, a target relating to landlocked countries, we are not landlocked, so we are not taken on board. And under these 21 targets, there were 60 indicators. We customized about 37 of them, which we monitored over the period from 2002 to date. In our last report, this is the 2015 report, which will be launched hopefully next week. We get a sense of how well we've done at the terminal year. Out of these 37 indicators that we have monitored, our assessment has shown that at least we achieve or made significant progress in about 73% of them, which means that if you group the indicators under 10, if we take for each 10, we either achieve or make significant progress in 7, which is quite...
That's an A.
Yes, you can say that. And I think if you compare it to the global report, you can see that Ghana was far ahead in terms of achievement if we compare to other countries. You have look at the global report 2015, you see that country has mixed results. You see in some areas they did well, somewhere they didn't do well, and that kind of.
That's it for business. We'll take a break now. Mayor of Accra, Alfred Oko van der Poel, has ordered investigations into reports of cracks in the North Industrial Area branch of Melcom. The mayor's visit is in reaction to Joy News' report about cracks in the building. Managers of the shopping centre, however, dispute the report and explain that the perceived cracks are expansion joints.
The weekend received several text messages and WhatsApps giving me the picture as is indicated in this building, suggesting that there was a structural defect, cracks and all that. So in the interest of public safety, this morning on my runs on duties, I decided to stop by here so I can verify things for myself. What I've observed is what we call expansion joint. When you have two pillars coming together, you have a space in between that. Sometimes you can decide to leave it alone or you can decide to cover it. So I think it's the coverage that has been exposed. We have it in our Millennium City Schools buildings. It's called, expansion joint. Okay. However, that's what my eyes tells me. We will do a thorough technical inspection. So I have ordered that we should have a joint technical team from Malcolm and from AMA. And then they will come in. We will also bring in an independent consultant, structural engineer, to also do a further work.
That's it for Joy News today. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. Thanks for your company. I'm Francisca Kakra-Forsen. Bye-bye.